Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and welcome back to the CoffeeCast ProCast Edition. And today I will be featuring a Terran versus Protoss. Spawning on the top right-hand side as our red Terran player. He has made quite the name for himself recently, and I am really curious to find out why exactly. All I know is I keep seeing his name pop up here and there, and I'm really curious to see, what all the hype is. We have MVPDream as the red Terran on the top right-hand side here on Cloud Kingdom. Apparently there's a little bit of a pause in the early game. My mouse cord keeps falling behind my desk and making me run out of cord. There we go. And on the bottom of the left-hand side, I believe that he's been on the CoffeeCast a few times before here. It is going to be SKTPartinG as our blue Protoss player on the bottom left-hand side. Now, before you guys really start getting into this game, I just want to make a quick note here. I know I haven't really been putting much up on YouTube the past few weeks here. I kind of made it a goal once this semester started back up that I wanted to do one ProCast a week at least. Like one best of 3 series, one best of 5, and I think this one's a best of 3. But unfortunately, then I found out that the Midwest Amateur Esports League wants me to be doing replays for them, wants me to be casting their replays, and I'm getting fed about 18 to 27 replays a week. And I mean, I am just absolutely flooded with replays from that. So I apologize if I don't quite hit that goal. And you might even notice a little extra lag here. I think I'm already seeing it because I'm currently trying to buffer video at the same time as cast this game. So if it gets really bad this game, then I won't. I'll make sure to wait until after I'm done buffering the video, done cutting my last video. So that's why there's going to be a little bit less content going out right now than I would normally like. But I will put a link at the end of this cast to where you can find all those videos if you do want to continue watching some CoffeeCast StarCraft action. Actually, real fast. You guys will bear with me here. I'm just gonna abort that now. Kill that video creation now because I don't want anything to detract from this. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Continuing on. I thought I was going to be able to do it, but apparently it took up a little bit too much video there. So, a Terran versus Protoss versus Terran. Apparently, Dream going to be throwing down a bunker and probably not going to really be able to do all that much pressure. Zealot is going to be coming out onto the field. One Marine is headed across the map, even a second one now to be able to start laying down on top of this bunker. But probes already being pulled off the line. 6 probes down here whacking away at that bunker. I think that might have been a little bit of an overreaction. But that being said, you really don't want that Marine to be able to jump inside that bunker because that is a very, very bad situation. And the probes, of course, still down here going to be able to defend against this without, well, I mean, with relative ease here. Even here comes the Zealot. And that's pretty much going to be the end-all, be-all of this aggression because that SCV will not be able to finish that bunker now. Meantime, Probe's going to be kind of sitting around here, scouting out pretty much whenever he so chooses to do. And I think he did bump up against this wall, but obviously complete wall off, not going to be getting in there anytime soon. Parting's natural expansion up very, very early this game. So he's going to be taking quite a nice little economy lead in the early game there. And especially considering MVPDream didn't really do any damage with that attack. I don't really think it delayed anything all that much. This just looks kind of like it was a standard gasless expansion. Maybe just a little bit delayed for the fact of throwing down a bunker or two over here. Over in Parting's natural expansion. Going to be dropping down a couple of additional barracks now. Going to be dropping both additional gases. So probably going to be seeing a factory go down pretty much as soon as we possibly can here. Start getting the medevac out onto the field. That's pretty fast for those additional 2 gases, I feel. And of course, Dream is just going to be throwing down a bunker at the front of his ramp there. He tried to do a little aggression, it failed. Let's just play it safe, use the extra resources, drop a bunker, and be perfectly fine. Looks like we are going to be getting the tech lab down on this first barracks here. Going to be getting a stim pack out fairly shortly, I can only imagine on that. And considering we only have 3 Raxes, I can't really see all that much aggression coming out onto the field, especially with these Marines already hurt. Oh, that was a really fast load in, load out kind of thing there. That probe's not going to make it all that far. Marines are being pretty active around the map there. They know that this stalker is kind of on his way. This SCV scout not going to be going anywhere. He is dead already. This game has already been brutal for workers, I feel. I mean, no one's really died yet, but they've been called into action quite a bit. I mean, we had probes attacking Marines and bunkers earlier. Now we have SCVs dying at the hands of a stalker out across the map. It's just been cruel so far to these poor guys. Going to be having at least one additional tech lab on this barracks. So it looks like we might actually be seeing some barracks aggression here and a reactor on the third barracks. So some Marines, quite a few Marauders, probably going to be getting combat shields out of this. Yep, there's the combat shields. So lots and lots of infantry upgrades, and that's probably going to be a timing push that we're going to be seeing out of MVPDream here. So a 3x timing push from Dream. In the meantime, Parting just going to be laying down robotics. He already has his additional gateways here. He's going to be getting the 4 down on the field, probably going to get his +1 armor. His +1 armor. That word, I don't know what just happened there. It was almost like there was like a bubble on my lips, and it's just like I don't even know. It's been a while since that's happened. That was kind of funky feeling coming out of the mouth. Factory now being dropped down for MVPDream, going to be working his way up to that medevac tech. That +1 armor now on the way for our Protoss hero down on the bottom left side here. And that armor upgrade just very nice to go against pretty much any sort of bioforce, but especially any bioforce that's kind of marine centric, as we are seeing out of MVPDream here, because the Marines obviously that low damaging, high attack rate unit, and you combine that +1 armor with the Guardian shield, and suddenly your Zealots have 4 armor versus the 6 damage of the Marines. Stim pack and combat shield is going to be finishing up right as MVPDream moves into this natural expansion. It looks like Parting's actually taking up a defensive position on this ramp here, but he is going to be having to split his forces because there's another force of MVPDream that's going to be coming up from the south, and this is Dream's time to move. Actually, we're going to be laying down a couple of very nice force shields, trapping some Marines and Marauders inside that little concave. Oh, almost even saving that Marine there. Going to be able to take out a couple of Marines and a Marauder there. Little does he know, though, that MVPDream going to be running in with another stimmed up group of bio coming into that natural expansion. In the middle of the map, sentries are dying, the Zealots and Stalkers have died as well. Now all these probes are being pulled off the line to try to help defend against this, and that's never a good situation. That Immortal not even close to being finished up yet, and actually it looks like, whoop, yeah, only probes remain on the field now, just waiting for the Warpin on the gateways to reset there. There we go, Warpin now resetting. Going to be getting 3 Stalkers on the field, but there are quite a few Marauders. That being said, these Marauders very low on health, not a single one in the green, a lot in the red. Just needs to make sure to focus fire. One more stim up from MVPDream, going to be killing off so many probes. Parting taking quite a bit of damage here. That 3-rax aggression there definitely paying off, but now the Immortal is on the field. And that's going to mean that this attack is pretty much done. Immortals, for those of you who do not know, actually very good against Marines in the early game when the Marines are not in high numbers. Parting going to try to warp in a couple more Stalkers, even getting a sentry up on the high ground there. But he took a lot of damage from that. We are already down to 16, well, I should say up to 16 workers killed by MVPDream in this game, and we're only 10 minutes and 40 seconds in. It's going to bring that Harvester count to 49 over 42 in favor of MVPDream, who, once again, I like to always mention, also has the muling power. Now Dream going to be getting these medevacs out on the field. That's going to make his follow-up push even stronger, getting a couple of additional barracks down on the field. Parting sees this. He's going to know at this point that he's in some trouble here and that he's going to need to make something happen. +1 weapons going to be coming onto the field for MVPDream, but I think that he's just going to kind of wait for these medevacs to get across the map before he pushes in again. Actually, he might wait for another round of reinforcements. He might wait for that +1 weapons, actually, because this force right here really isn't all that big, but I know it does look like he is going to be moving with that medevac, or at least moving up to take out these Brocs, make the force fielding just a little bit more difficult. Parting really doesn't have all that much to defend with. These 2 Immortals going to be very, very important, but I think he has enough force fields for 1 force field across this ramp, and at that MVPDream could just lift up and drop off on top of the army. He could run around the side. There really aren't that many Stalkers on the map to be able to take out the medevacs here, which is going to be a big problem. Dream actually going to try to move up this ramp here. I don't really agree with that engagement decision there. But that was almost a feeler push. He just kind of poked up a little bit, saw what exactly Parting had in his force, and fell back and is now going to take up a more advantageous position. Might be trying to do kind of a multi-pronged attack here. Ooh, these medevacs, need to be really careful here. Going to be taking a couple shots there, and that attack angle not going to work all too well for Dream there, who I think actually with Sim might be able to take on this force with 4 medevacs up in that army. But no, just going to be loading up into said medevacs and getting ready to go into the main base. In the meantime, establishing a 3rd base over here, and just landed that a little bit out of position. Unfortunately for Dream, Parting was ready for that. A couple of High Templar on the high ground, ready to feed back those medevacs. Those medevacs actually don't have enough energy to die, so I think that he actually could have taken that on. But Parting's army is pulled back to this ramp, which means that Dream does have a brief chance to run up here and try to do a little bit of damage in this natural expansion. Going to be getting over in there, going to be trying to take it out of that Stalker. Not going to quite get it, but the Zealot's not having charge yet. Charge not quite done. It's only about, 10 seconds away. Parting just really needed that to be able to finish up before this engagement happened, but that's not going to happen. One medevac accidentally loading some units up, and Dream wisely unloading those. And once again, so many probes being killed off by Dream here. And whoops, what's this? Another reinforcing round of units? Only a couple of Immortals are really left there in the front line. There we go. One Immortal going down, but some charge-outs now coming into the fray. Going to help clean this up. But once again, SKTPartinG has taken so much damage so far in this game. We'll probably be able to clean this up. I don't know. There are so many medevacs up there. And actually, no. Parting not going to be able to clean this up. There's the GG from SKTPartinG, and Dream is going to move 1-0 going into the game number 2 of this best of 3 series. So like I was mentioning in the early game, real quickly before we go on to the next game, there is going to be somewhere on this page a link to the Heartland Esports page where you can look at all the VODs from the Midwest Amateur Esports League. I would upload them here, but I don't want to, quote-unquote split the theoretical viewership that we have. So make sure to jump over there and watch those games, because there are some pretty good games over there. Just kind of ignore the awkward introductions from week 1, because I didn't know what the league was called. So it'd be like, welcome to the Midwest Amateur StarCraft Sports E-League. It's like I had no idea what I was saying. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button here on this page as well. That's subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And leave a comment below telling me what you think. Always appreciating it, and I will do my best to get back to you. And until next time, folks, this is Coffee Break, signing out.